What's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I'm your gracious host, A6. We are live and direct, live in effect. Get this out of the way. Hey, that's much better. How's everybody doing today, man? What's good? What's good? What's up, man? What's all over the world, man? How y'all feeling? Let's see who we got in the comment section, man. Who we got in the comment section? Supplanter with the statutes logo for the avatar. And he is over here dropping some heat. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He's dropping some heat over there. Thank you for joining in. Wolf, what up, man? What's going on with you? Civic Maker, what's good? My man continues to have perfect attendance. What up? What up? Truth is here. What's up, man? Front and center, ready, reporting for diplomatic duty. Yes, indeed. You know how we do, man. What's up, Prof? What's good with you? My man, Jared. Yes, sir. Yo, you know what's crazy, Jared? I had a video for you, man. You would have loved it, but they pulled it off Instagram. They took it off Instagram, man. I was a little upset about that though because let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe I shared it. Let me see. Hold on. Because I think I saved it. But yo, they pull stuff off Instagram if it's telling too much truth. Yeah, they took that shit off there. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. The video I was going to show backed up what Jared was saying about the whole because you know the back and forth between the flat earth and the globe earth. Yo, that it was damning evidence. So they pulled it off of there though. Alfonso, what up? What's good, man? What's going on, Tony? How you feeling, man? Good to see you here. But yeah, the video was interesting because it showed this girl. She had it was like a boat, uh, like an action figure or something like that, and it had the boat on the bottom, of course, and then it had a long pole, like it was small, like a toy would be, and then it had like a flag, how a boat would have a sail. You know what I mean? So she put the camera at the edge of the table, and I never thought of this. And when she made the boat go further across the table, the camera looked like the boat was going over a horizon. They pulled that off Instagram. No, absolutely not. They took that off Instagram, man. It's crazy because it's something anybody could do. You know what I mean? But they took that video off of there. They didn't want nobody else seeing that. And I was like, yo, let me save this and share this on my channel. But it's gone. Damn shame. Maybe it's on YouTube. Let me look on YouTube and see if I can find it. Hold up. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking on my saved videos. I don't see it. They took that off of there. Yeah, that joint gone. Yeah, that's crazy. Let me see if I can find. I might be able to find it on YouTube because they definitely pulled it off Instagram. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. Hold on. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. She did it like on a kitchen table. Yeah, they got that up out of here, man. Nah, you can't. You're not allowed to see that. You're not allowed to see that. They pulled that off the internet though. But hey, you know how it is, man. When they put something on the internet, they scrub that shit. It's gone. So hey, it is what it is though. Taquan X, what up, man? What's good, champ? How you feeling? Mounting Flame, what up? What up? Hey, yo, Taquan, if you stick around later, man, I'd like to have you on for the live, man, so you could drop some bars on these people. That'd be nice to have you on the live. We ain't been on live in a while. No mercy. What's good? What's good? What's good? Greetings from down east. What up, Brian? What's good, champ? You all know the earth is flat, guarantee. Yeah, yo, he's sticking by his guns on it. I ain't mad at it though. Put my video up. What video? Which video are you talking about? What up, dear? What's good? What's good? Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. Let me put my banner right there. Yes, indeed. But yeah, today it was pretty good weather this weekend, man. What's up with the weather? This week it was warm at one point, then it was at one point it got hot, and today it was a little tiny bit chilly when it was early, but it started to really warm up, and then it was if you had a convertible top, it was top down weather today. It was top down traveling with your private plates type weather today, or if you got your car in the trust, you know what I mean, traveling in your private conveyance, however you do it. But yeah, it was nice today, man. Sun was up, it was cool. Sky was blue. Didn't have no man-made clouds in the sky. They all looked like they were natural. Yes, sir. We set one up here. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Mike, what up? What up? What up? What's good, Mike? The Return of the Republic, a Republic, not a Democracy by Dan Smoot, 556 era, circa 1966. Nice. Yeah, there's no democracy. The democracy is basically, and this is the thing, like they try to tell you, like, yo, Democrat versus Republican. You know what I'm saying? But yo, both of those parties are literally, what I mean, owned by the same individuals that don't have your best interest in heart, that have, what I mean, their own best interest in heart. And with the policies and stuff they push, even if you look at like Fox and stuff like that, they steadily saying this is our democracy, blah blah blah. Like, yo, we don't even have a democracy, man. You know what I'm saying? Democracy is basically something that they came up with. That's something they're trying to put in place. The republic is where we're at, a constitutional republic, which is the facts. The word democracy is not in the Constitution at all. Federal, nor any state constitution as well. I don't. Does anybody have a state constitution that has the word democracy in it? Because I don't think there is. And yes, indeed, I agree with this. Yeah, it is indeed mob rule, majority rules. Remember when we were younger And they were conditioning us for this too, because if you guys remember when we were younger, whenever we played like a game with all the other children in school or gym class, it was like, yo, raise your hand if you want to do this. You want to play like this, and then like 10 kids raise their hands and seven don't, and then raise your hand if you want to play like this, and the 7 kid raise their hands and 10 kids don't, and they say majority rules. You know what I'm saying? They was conditioning us for that for a long time, man. You know, um, even right now, if you think about it, we've been conditioned since we were young too. Because think about it for a second. Like, look at the way the lunch tables were set up, like a jail. Look at the school lunches and stuff like that. They were better than like prison food would be, but it's still the same principle. Like, yo, stand in line, get your food, go sit down at a table with people who you associate with. Usually, if you go in a cafeteria in most schools, naturally the white kids are going to be sitting with the white kids, and most of the kids who call themselves black are going to be sitting with the black kids. It's just like the social demographic. Now, if you go to a school where like a majority of one type of children go there, it's going to be something. It's going to be a little different. But yeah, think about back in school. We were conditioned for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Majority rules type deal. You know what I mean? Remember those safeties? You know what I'm saying? Remember the safeties that used to have to stand outside and watch people violating and report them to the office? Literally glorified snitching. That's literally what it was. They was conditioning these kids to tell on their other classmates. The crazy thing was though, like they had to go tell on their other classmates, then they had to go associate with their classmates too. That's the crazy part. Like, yo, I just had to tell on Billy for running across the street and running back without getting authority, from a teacher or whatever. Meanwhile, I gotta go sit next to Billy in math class. Just shit like that. It's literally um like a jail kind of, you know what I mean? And the deeper we go into this thing, it literally is military, man. It's literally military. You know what I'm saying? Like, even look at the state troopers, yo. Look at the rank of state troopers, and the rank, basically the rankings they have. They start off with a regular trooper, and then they go to like trooper first class, and then lieutenant. They even got the military logos, little badges and stuff they got on their shirt. It's the same logos they use in the military. It's a military type deal, man. And the children are all basically prisoners of war, basically. So the schools and all that shit are indoctrinating the children. And the way these children sit at tables and stuff, it's reminiscent of like a situation of lockdown, man. You can't leave school grounds. You know what I mean? You gotta, even when you go home, you got shit to do at home. We used to have homework. I heard they don't have homework anymore. But that type of deal, it's literally is military jurisdiction, man. All of that shit. That's why you need that social security number to go to school. You can't go to school without you can go to school without a social security number, but they prefer you to have one. And then as far as like kids going to school and stuff, they gotta get all their V words before they go in to school and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like the more you compare it, it's literally the military. We're occupied by a military, external military force. Democracy, yes, indeed. You're right. One party rules tyranny, not democracy. I mean, listen, man. Like, even people like, oh, you should vote for. If you don't like Democrat, Republican, we can make a change and we could vote for what is it called? The Libertarian Party. Like, yo, even the Libertarian Party, like, yo, these dudes is up and down. I didn't have libertarians tell me I was crazy for not having a driver's license. Like, ain't you supposed to be like pro freedom, man? How the fuck are you pro freedom and you telling me I'm crazy for not wanting to contract with the state, like to volunteer away rights? You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part. And then in places like Maryland and all that shit, you literally have to have a in order to purchase a firearm, you have to have a permit for that, even to purchase. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, literally, the word firearms completely is a commercial term. Of course, we're aware of that, but still, you know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, you're crazy for not doing this, that, and the third. I'm like, I don't see it that way, man. I think y'all are the ones. Y'all got one foot in and one foot out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want it both ways. You can't really have it like that. Yes, indeed. Jail cafeteria is the same way. Word. Carissa, what's up? How's it going? We definitely had man-made clouds over here today, unfortunately. Where was that at? Because over here in Maryland, the sky was pretty clear, surprisingly. I did see some weird shaped clouds, though, that definitely, I saw a few of them that weren't natural. Like most of them was natural clouds, but if you look, you'll see every once in a while you'll see like a cloud that's a perfect circle that don't move. So we all know what time what that is. You know what I'm saying? We all know what the perfect circle, the perfectly shaped clouds are that don't ever that don't they just stay still over time. You know, eventually just evaporate in the thin air. We already know what that's all about. But otherwise, it was pretty clear. Plenty of schools have been designed like a prison by the same people making prisons. Yo, you know what's interesting, man? They used to have remember Lean on Me? That movie, Lean on Me, it had Morgan Freeman. That was a good movie. If you guys haven't seen, if any of you guys in this chat have not seen Lean on Me, you gotta need to go check it out, man. It was a good ass movie. But very riveting. But it was basically about a guy who was he was supposed to be a real tough love type principal. He got sent to this really low um, achieving school where you know there was a lot of crime in the school. Kids were selling in the school. You know what I mean, fighting and stuff like that. Kids were bringing arms to the school. It was like a no hope type of deal. And then when they sent him in, you know what I'm saying? He started running it like the military. You know what I mean? He put locks on the doors. You know what I mean? Like a jail. Locks on the doors. His kids were coming in to make drops in order to sell, and so he put locks on the doors and all that. The town got upset. It's a very interesting movie, but if you look at how he started running that school, when he started running it the way he wanted to run it, they started doing better academically. You know what I mean? He started taking away certain freedoms and shit like that, and the kids started achieving better. So it was like, yo, let me pull on your heartstrings real quick and show you how these kids were living. And then when we brought some basically tyranny to the school, they doing better. I mean, it's a catch 22, but that's how they get you with stuff like that. They make you, oh, well, maybe that is a good idea for the kids to be treated like this and give away certain rights because they're not achieving anything anyway. I mean, it ain't that simple. Never is. It's never that simple. The same way you were conditioned to think you live on a spinning ball. Word. Yeah. My man is driving that point home. He ain't gonna let that go. But yeah, I agree. My high school had pods. What you mean pods? What is that? Stop consenting, just say no. I agreed, man. And it's not easy though, because people think just because they say no once, that's gonna be the end of it. Like, nah, they're gonna keep trying to recontract with you. It ain't gonna just be you say no and that's the end of it. Nah, they're gonna keep trying to recontract with you because that's the name of the game. You know, I was listening to those Emerald Tablets, man, yesterday on the way to work. And dude, let me tell you something. Y'all really need to be listening. If you don't have time to read them, y'all need to be listening to the audio at those Emerald Tablets, dude. Yo, he gave you the hack. He gave you the cheat code in tablet 7. He gave you the cheat code if you feeling like you in danger and you feeling like you amongst darkness. You know what I mean? And you're a little concerned. He literally gave you the words to say in order to have the light help pull you through the darkness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to tell you what the words are. Y'all gonna have to do homework on that. But yo, I suggest please. I done got like almost because I've been listening to it for pieces for a while. Because with the Emerald tablets, every line is a profound bar. You know what I'm saying? Like classic literature, and the reason why it's so successful is because every single line is like literally groundbreakingly deep. If you listen to oh man, what is it called? The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Every single line in that book is a quotable. Facts. Every line in The Art of War by Sun Tzu is a quotable. I didn't finish that book almost. I think I did it. I finished it once, and I got almost halfway through it the second time. I need to finish it again though. But y'all, I highly suggest y'all read The Art of War by Sun Tzu as well, man. But yeah, every single line is great. But when you listen to that kind of stuff, though, you can't be letting your mind wander because you might miss some goals. So sometimes if your mind starts to drift, or if you start to get into doing something else, you might have to just let it rest and come back to it. You got to divide your undivided attention to that. This is why I say, like, when you are in the whip, you could literally just put it on, and you could just on the road, you could just listen to it while you're on the road. You know what I'm saying? And you can just absorb the knowledge. And sometimes when he starts to talk about certain situations, you actually think about a situation that you were involved in, well, that would have helped you. You know what I mean? It's great. Indeed. The U.S. is a republic. Listen to the words of the Pledge of Allegiance. The United States of America is a republic. The U.S. is a corporation. What is that? 28 United States Code 3002 15A. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what it is. But it's a federal corporation. Let me make sure I'm giving you all the right information on that. Yeah, I think it's 3002 15A. 28 United States Code 3002 15A. Yep, I hit it right on the head. Yeah. And then if you look at UCC 9-307 Section H, it literally tells you that the debtor is the United States and is located in Washington, D.C. That means Washington, D.C. is the debtor. Washington, D.C. is the United States, and it is indeed the debtor, according to what their codes and stuff say. Their Uniform Commercial Code and their United States Code both say the same. Maritime Admiralty, word, agreed. We talked about the passport. You know what I'm saying? What it says on the passport, when it says nationality, it'll say no, it'll say place of birth, and then it'll say U.S.A on the passport card. And then when you look where it says nationality, it says USA, no periods. So I mean, those are two different things, or else it would have been written the same way for both of them. Yeah, so I'm thinking that when it says USA, it could mean Admiralty as in United States Army, because United States Army is actually an abbreviation too. It's both USA. So like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Which one are you talking about? Probably do a Freedom of Information Act and find out exactly what that means. But you know, them FOIAs don't always land on somebody competent's desk. Might land on a mofo that don't know what's going on type deal. You can make clouds disappear with your mind. I wouldn't doubt it. I think you would have to be at a higher frequency to do that, though, man. Vote for freedom. Or Slim Shady, what's up, man? Yo, you been in and out, man. I ain't seen you in a while over here. Lord Chavez, what's good? Maxim of law, fraud vitiates everything ab initio. Yeah, it does, especially contracts. any hidden, any hidden parts of contracts definitely would void it out, because both parties have to be, or the signing party has to be full aware of the, you know what I'm saying, the terms of the contract. It's got to be like written. I'd rather see clouds than those Black Hawks. That's just me. I've only seen a Black Hawk one time. That was a very uncomfortable experience. Mike, what up, man? You've been absent, man. What's good, champ? My grade. It's all mind control. Yes, indeed. I love when they force my hand. Deprivation of rights. People really need to watch the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. When you start mentioning that and the words of the Bible, these demons, oh, they don't like that shit at all. You saw how they was acting when I started talking about the Constitution the last time I got stopped. They was like, yo, we know I ain't trying to hear all that. Dude, and the crazy part was it was two videos. The first video, right? I was recording and my camera started overheating because it was cold outside that day, but I had the heat on. So, like, not thinking, I had the heat pointed towards the phone and I had the phone plugged up. So like the phone was heating up from the plug, then it was heating up from the vent. So it started to get too hot. It started to overheat. So the phones, it actually ended up like stopping recording and stopped everything because it overheated. I was mad though, yo, because I literally had 30 minutes of footage before. That was the second video I had uploaded. The first video, that was crazy because he literally said, I don't care about any of that. In the first half of the video, I was like, oh, they playing hardball. I don't care about the Constitution type shit. Okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, they don't like that shit at all because they know they know, you know what I mean, they don't like that because that's the kryptonite. Know your enemy and you will be granted victory and use their own stuff against them. I just say I don't answer questions. I did that before. I did that before, and it does work. It does work, but the thing about it is, you're gonna hit a you go if you run well, most of these officers here in Maryland, their protocol is if you're saying anything they don't like, they want you to get out the car. Like, yo, step out the car for me. Like that bullshit. And like the thing about it is, I need to read that case too because someone had said, I don't know how true it is yet because I ain't read it myself, but somebody said that a Supreme Court ruled they can't ask a mofo to get up out the car only if they feel if he's being threatened or something like I think it's like threatening language or something like that. And telling somebody you won't answer questions is not really threatening language. But like I said, don't quote me on that. I need to go back and read that. I need to read that case. What is that? Is that Terry v. Ohio? I think the Supreme Court fucked up on that ruling, yo, for real. I think they dropped the ball on that ruling, straight up. It goes deeper than that. Too bad lunar eclipses don't happen on any flat Earth map, but we seem to keep having them. But we're the TARS. He talk about the yeah. Here we go. Every time, man, it's between Prof and Jared, and it's like two other cats involved. Jared taking on all comers. He don't care. If you're picking up the Emerald tablets, then one should pick up the Kabbalion too. Yeah. After I finish the Emerald tablets, I'm gonna get into a whole lot of other books too. Understanding contract law, and you win. Maximum law. Law is contract. Contract makes the law. Yeah, Yusuf L preaches that. Yeah, 100%. Eclipses don't happen on maps; they happen in reality. When you know how to contract law, you start getting at some people, then they know. Yet you know you're enlightening people, can explain the situation. How did we just have a lunar eclipse last week on a flat Earth? I love making clowns disappear with some paper. Yes, sir. I always say the pen is mightier than the sword, man. And it talk, you know what? Thoth also talked about that too. He was talking about knowing rather than believing. Knowing is what you need, yo. And he was like, I Thoth the Atlantean, know these things. It is not belief is not enough because you can believe anything, you know what I mean? But knowing is a whole like nah, it ain't no 50-50, it ain't no 80-20, it ain't no 90-10. It's 100%. I know what the fuck it is. That's a whole different animal right there. What up, King? What's good, chat? In terms of contract and overall, so this an overall disclosure. Yes, sir. United States Incorporated new name, the White House office, CEO Joseph R. Biden. Is that the new name? Where'd you see that at, man? Point me in the direction where you saw that at, because I want to take a look at that myself. We got a lot of people coming. All right, let me get to these videos, man. Y'all gonna have me running late today. All right, what we gonna start off with? All right, man. Let's start off with this right here. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened in this situation because they only showed part of this encounter. All right, but you have here. This was a stop that happened in Iowa, Carroll, Iowa. Okay. So apparently, this gentleman was running some information for these people he had pulled over. So you'll hear what actually happened now.
I'm gonna be on traffic with that. King Henry Frank 765, Burgess and Leclerc. Burgess and Leclerc, King Henry Frank 765. How's it going, guys? Hey, Dennis. Hey, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it sounds like you got a warrant out of Illinois. Okay. You got your ID on you? I'm sorry? Okay. Do you have anything on you? Okay. Why don't you step out of the car until we can identify you? You got anything on your person, man? You got anything on you? Any weapons or anything like that? What's up? Awesome. Okay, go ahead and step out. Hello? Go and step out, man. Yeah, reach. Unbuckle your seatbelt and step out of the vehicle. Yeah, what's up? Stop the car, man! Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car! Stop it! Stop the car! Stop the car! Get off the fuck! Put on the goddamn brakes! Put on the fucking brakes! Put on the brakes! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car, man! Jesus Christ! Stop the car, man!
Carroll 91, he is going north past the county shed to Highway 30. I have 1050 in a ditch. I need medics to my location. I have officer.
All right, so as you saw right there, you can't make that kind of stuff up, man. Crazy, man. And listen, all right, so the police officer fell off of the all right, so the dude, you know what I mean, I'm not sure why he got stopped in the first place. So I can't say, you know, why dude got stopped, but he decided for some weird reason that it would be a good idea to jump on the car. He jumped on the car, you know what I mean? And listen, I hope the dude is okay, man. If he sees this, man, I hope you're doing all right. You know what I'm saying? But the dude was moving like a T-1000 Terminator. And we're not going to sit here and pretend this dude was not moving like a T-1000, all right? That's some T-1000. This dude literally did that shit on Terminator 2. Like, he literally turned his hands into them little forks. It was on the goddamn trunk. You know, what are you doing, bro? Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know why that dude was on the run. I don't know what happened with that, but yo, that was crazy. I think we all can agree this dude is he was doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You had the arm pointed at him. You know what I mean? The moment he took off, it was a situation where it could if he would have wrote the report up right, they would have gave him that. If he'd have, you know, let off on dude when the car was coming towards him, that would have been self-defense or the officer feared for his life easily. You know what I'm saying? But dude didn't. You know what I mean? Um, he jumped on the hood. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but dude was looking like the last action hero. He was, you know, he was. Remember the Spider-Man video games where you had to stop the car from riding around the town, driving recklessly around the town, and you had to jump on the roof, and they had Spider-Man flying around. Dude was literally on the roof, looking like the Terminator 2 enemy. Like that was crazy, bro. But yo, listen. The dude broke his back. Apparently, he destroyed his lower back. He's out of work for a while. So, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking, but that's never a good idea. You know what I mean, if y'all ever get in a situation and y'all out there moving and grooving, yo, do not jump on the freaking hood. That shit could have went way worse than that because he was kneeling on the hood, bro. Like if that dude would have slammed on brakes, this man would have been doing. He'd have been rolling. He'd have been looking like Sonic the Hedgehog rolling on the ground for real. He'd have been all screwed up. But yeah, that was not a good idea. But but listen, I'm not sure why dude was stopped in the first place, but the police, you cannot be arrested without a warrant. That is a violation of your rights. It's in the what is that? The PDF file. What is it called? The treaties for arrest and false imprisonment. I've been telling y'all to make sure y'all get your hands on a copy of that. That is fire. I learned a lot just in the first chapter reading that. Like, they was naming case law and everything. Like, any detainment is an arrest and needs a warrant. A detainment is an arrest. Facts. That's matter of fact. Let me read you. I'm gonna read y'all some of the damn. I'm gonna read y'all some of the law. I'm gonna read y'all some of the law, man. Some of the notes I took. All right, check it out. False imprisonment equals malicious prosecution. Joseph Chitty, Esquire, The Practice of Law, Volume 1, Chapter 2, page 47, London, 1837. All right. Deprivation of liberty is the basis of an action for the tort or false imprisonment. Actual seizure, laying the hands, is not necessary to constitute unlawful detention. Hansen v. Bieber, 271 MO 326, 1917. This is case law. All right. Thus, the only essential elements of the action are 1, detention or restraint against one's will, and 2, the unlawfulness of such detention or restraint. Sergeant V. Watson. Like, yo, there's case law stating this. That, yo, pulling somebody over even is literally an arrest. You know what I'm saying? You check the paperwork after they pull you over. It'll literally say traffic arrest on the paperwork. It's an arrest. That's one of the things they keep from people because they don't want people to know. So they created this double talk term called detainment, which is literally you can't go nowhere, you arrested. Just because you're not in handcuffs, which they may or may not put you in handcuffs, just because you're not physically in handcuffs, just because you're not sitting behind a cell, you still can't go. The basis of being in jail is you can't go where you want to go without consequence. If you leave the jail, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be consequences. That's the whole entire thing. Point of arrest and detainment. So yeah, it really when you circle the wagons back around, man. Anytime you're pulled over, you know what I'm saying? It's detainment. Now here's where the water gets murky, right? Here's where the water gets murky. Okay. Now if you have a driver's license, okay, you waive that right. You waive a few rights when you have a driver's license. You're consenting, you know what I'm saying, to accept the benefit or privilege and waive your right. That's literally what a permit is for. You know what I mean? You're given a state jurisdiction. So if you get pulled over and you have a license, yo, you can't go in the court and say that. Well, you literally bought a driver's license. Why did you buy a driver's license if you didn't consent to the terms? Because before you get the license, they make you sign a contract. Anytime, when y'all get time, see if you can get your hands on the driver's license contract within your state, district, wherever you at. See if you can actually get your hands on a copy of the contract and read that mofo, man. Sit down and read it. Cause it's a lot of nasty shit in there. I remember there was somebody on YouTube that was not YouTube, this was Instagram. I think it was Maurice Bay, I believe. He had shared one of the pages of I think it was a state ID, as a matter of fact. I think one of the requirements was like you got to opt in for a selective service or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was, but it's all all of it is contracts. All of it always was and always will be contracts. That's what it is, man. All right, my man. Our guy says if he fears you, Pennsylvania versus Mims. Okay, see that's the tricky part though, because then they can use blanket language. Well, I was afraid. I mean, but at what point constitutes fear? Because I'm telling you, I don't want to answer questions. You're afraid. I mean, typically walking up to anybody's car that doesn't know you, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what they got in the car, is a scary scenario. And to me, if you're scared to do that, you probably shouldn't even be doing that job. To me, if you're using that for an excuse, I was afraid, so I asked him to get out the car. Why were you afraid? He said he didn't answer questions. Why were you afraid he didn't want to answer questions? So you were afraid he was exercising his rights? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's why I said Supreme Court dropped the ball on that ruling. So this right here, this ruling right here, Supreme Court fucked up on this one. They messed up on that one, man. They literally sold people up the stream, man. And check it out. The amount of money they make from traffic stops literally harps on this particular ruling because, if they couldn't tell you to get out the car, Like, who would get out the damn car? I'm not going nowhere. You're not towing my shit, and I'm not getting out of nothing. We done here. Go away. All right. They were stopping for us in traffic law. And people realized it was that easy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I ain't got to get out of the car. I ain't got to worry about them putting hands on me. And I ain't got to worry about them stealing my car. I'm just going to stay right here and ignore them. Traffic law literally harps on this ruling right here. This is why this ruling is some bullshit. I got to read it, though, still. I got to read it. But this is some garbage right here. Facts. Jared, a clock diagram can explain the solar eclipse, but y'all still talking about that? All right. A warrant. Where is his? Who is he serving? And you know what's also interesting, Mike? He asked him if he had an ID on him. I think he might have been talking to the passenger, though. Do you have an ID on you? I think he was talking to the passenger because in order for him to find out that the driver had a warrant, he would have had to give him a driver's license or his name and date of birth or something like that. But if he still had the driver's license or something, you know what I mean? Because he found out there was a warrant in another state. He was in Iowa. He had a warrant in some, I can't remember what state it was. I think what was it, Chicago or something? One of them other states, but he had a warrant in another state and they found it from the license. Yeah, agreed. But you know, when they catch that young boy, they're gonna throw his ass under the jail, man. Because I promise you that motherfucker don't know his rights. Because if he knew his rights, he wouldn't have had to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? If he knew how to move, he wouldn't even have had to run for real. He wouldn't even have had to run. He wouldn't have had to retreat. They would have had to retreat if he knew his rights. They drove off with his ass and rolled away. Oh man, that was a good driver though. Stop the car. Hey man, see he did the Bobby Smyrna joint. The Bobby Smyrna joint. That's crazy. Now that's how you go for a ride. I mean, listen, ain't no amount of it's weird. It's like a superhero complex that some of these dudes have. Not all of them, but some of these dudes literally have a superhero complex. Like, yo, I just seen police do some weird. I just seen police hang on the side of a door while the car was moving. Like he was trying to pull the driver out of the car. Car floored. The driver floored it, and the police officers literally being dragged on the street while the car is in motion. What did you think when you thought she was gonna stop the car? Like, what were you thinking? You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. Like they say, oh, they put their life on the line, but yo, that was unnecessary. You didn't need to put your life on the line to do that. I mean, you could have hopped in the car and chased them for all that. Then check this out. Yo, I thought if you go back and watch the video, right? There was a giant, it was some grand. Listen, man. There was a giant dirt pile because the train was conveniently coming. So dude had to swerve off. Yo, there was a giant dirt pile perfectly shaped to jump a ramp over top of the train, which was crazy because I thought he was going to jump the train over the dirt pile, man. I'd have been if he jumped that dirt pile with that cop on that hood, I'd have been no more good. I'd have been like, man, I'm out of here. That's crazy. that is crazy, man. Some Dukes of Hazzard ish. You have every duty to retreat while someone is attempting to kidnap you. Facts. Yeah. But like against murky waters though, man, because the way they're gonna write that report up, they're gonna try to bury you. They're gonna try to bury you. You jump on the shit you going for, right? Terminator 2 type shit. Definitely a super cop. Word reaching with John Connor's son. A wide jump in front of the car to jump on. You know what it was? I think he thought when he pointed that gun at him, they was gonna stop. And when he jumped on the hood and pointed the arm at him, he thought they was gonna stop. He lucky they ain't yanked that wheel like this. that could have went way worse for that officer, man. That could have went way worse. The cop was ridiculous and wasn't protecting anybody. Not at all. All in the name of trying to secure an arrest. Like, yo, they must get a bonus for arrest. You know what I mean? But I don't even think they get a bonus for arrest, though, for real. They be trying to get promoted and stuff like that. A lot of the officers that's doing traffic stops is low level. They low tier, man. I used to think, yo, police officers that do stops, you know what I'm saying? The ones that's out there doing police stops, you know, they're you know what I'm saying, if you go at a certain time of the day, they're the more experienced one, which is probably true to a degree. But a lot of these dudes are still green for real, man. That's why they still pulling people over. You know what I'm saying? When dudes start wanting to get paid the big money, they start becoming, you know, lieutenants. You know what I'm saying? They get a boost in pay. You know what I mean? Anything beyond that, officers not to be in any public safety whatsoever. Yeah, it wasn't no public safety. He matter of fact, he put other people's safety in danger by doing that. Cause like, yo, now you done jumped on the car. If it's an oncoming car coming and they see you in the street, they gotta swerve to avoid you, and they might end up flying over a ditch somewhere. You know what I mean? They don't want to hit a cop. They don't want to run over a cop. Nobody wants to run over a cop. So like you land in the damn road from trying to be Superman and shit. You literally just caused like this family to get injured. You know what I mean? All in the name of trying to secure an arrest. Like, yo, what the? Come on, man. I don't know, man. They must get a bonus. They must get a $500 bonus per arrest. Now, listen, if they got a $500 bonus per arrest, it would still be unconstitutional as hell without a warrant. But I'm saying I can understand the urgency a little bit more. Or if the dude if the dude they was trying to lock up or something like do stuff to kids and shit. All right, cool. Do what you gotta do to get this garbage bag off the street. Dude was probably on a run, you know what I'm saying, for selling dime bags or something. Some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. He thought the traveler was shook. I think not. Nah, that boy had nerves of steel. He said, "Are you going to shoot me?" Like the dude on Metal Gear Solid 2 when you go to rob him for his dog tag. Are you going to shoot me? He wasn't having it. If your wages are paid by stolen wealth, then you are a criminal. Is it really stolen though? You know what I'm saying? People volunteer that. Yeah, that's optional. That's voluntary. I mean, not optional, voluntary. It's in the Constitution. Yes, indeed. The Fourth and Fifth Amendment, especially by your own state. Yeah, your state also has a. All states have a clause that says something. So I know Maryland's basically says Article 44 of the Maryland Constitution says all the provisions of the United States federal Constitution apply in this state, whether in war or peace. Basically, in so many words. A little more complex than that, but in so many words, basically, the Constitution always applies. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if it's war, peace, the Constitution applies. So, fact of the matter is, you know what I mean? That's what it was. Yes, yeah, y'all ain't hitting the like button, man. Y'all ready to make me do it. Y'all get ready to make me check on y'all now, man. I thought we was beyond that, man. Y'all ain't hitting the like button. All right, we got 41 people in here and 32 likes. So some of y'all slacking. Some of y'all slacking, man. Mash that like button. You have a warrant to do that. It's in the laws. That's right. You have to have a warrant to do that. My bad, I misread it. Yeah, you gotta have a warrant to do that. Agreed. And then check this out: corporations can only intermingle or interface with other corporations. So even if they had a warrant, they can only issue a warrant for the ens legis. They can't issue a warrant for the natural person. Facts. They can't even issue a warrant for the natural person. Only the ens legis. That's why the warrants always have which they're improper warrants anyway, because the judge is it's supposed to be signed by an Article 3 judge, I believe, but it's supposed to be actually signed. But a lot of those warrants are computer generated. That's what you do. You don't sit there and let them break your window and assault you. They'll say, man, take off with his ass on the hood. Word. It's in every state's constitution. Yes, indeed. A paper warrant, not words in their computer screen. A paper warrant. Warrant. Okay, true, true, true. With an oath of affirmation, too. Not just a warrant, you also have to have an oath of affirmation as well. So, not just the warrant, the oath of affirmation also has to be there, too. Yeah. They got to have that oath for that. Yep. Says it right in the Constitution, oath of affirmation. You can hit them with the fee schedule. You're gonna have to take them to court for that though, because they ain't gonna be trying to give you shit. You're gonna end up in front of a judge for that. Exactly, you're restricting movement. Yep, violating your right to travel. Republicanism, the allowing of one's life to be ruled by some magical piece of paper. Any restriction of movement is an arrest and is not lawful without a judicial warrant. Yep. You know? It ends when we end it, man. Gotta start putting a claim on them motherfuckers. Here's the thing: if you're restricted when you get pulled over and you put everyone on notice, they violate your you got money on the way if you play your cards right. Absolutely. Like I said, you got to hold that feet to the fire though, because they're gonna be trying to ignore you. He doesn't have jurisdiction to make a move. Nope. They gain jurisdiction by you giving it to them though. You know what I'm saying? And the dude probably had he might have had he probably had them plates on his car too, the state plates on his car also. Which with them state plates, if you have it tied to your ens legis or your what they call a straw man, and they can see all that. They can see your address. They can see the ens legis name, and they probably got your social and all that shit on there too. So yeah, they can get all that. But as far as you know what I mean, what a lot of people like to do, which you know what I mean, is not a bad idea. Put your shit under a trust, and you can even if you want to be incognito, like my man Tony does, you can have your automobile in the public, but it can be underneath a trust. That way, it's not attached to the straw man. That way, you ain't contracting still. If that's what you want to do, or you can ride with the private plates. But be prepared. Be prepared to defend that shit if you run across the right mofo. I mean, United States Supreme Court messed up on lots of rulings. Erie Railroad v. Tompkins abandoned common law in favor of colorable admiralty, aka statutory so-called law. Yeah, that's crazy. I gotta read that joint. Erie Railroad v. Tompkins. Yeah, they screwed up on that, man. I feel like some of them dudes was paid under the table for that though. Definitely. That dude turned into a cape for that. Yeah. My man was looking like Kakarot. That cop must have watched John Wick Chapter 4 the night before. I don't know what he was watching, bro. I be wondering how he thought that was gonna go, man. He thought he was goddamn that dude from Dead to Rights. Everyone should put their public servants under contract by serving their corporate headquarters with fee schedules for any damages or trespassing when they're freedom of locomotion. Most of the time, like if you do that, you got to make sure you keep record that you send it to them and they received it, because they just gonna toss that shit in the garbage, man. They don't care about none of that stuff for the most part. They'll toss it straight in the trash. They won't even acknowledge they received it. The only way they'll acknowledge they received it if you send it like certified and you can prove that they signed for it. You know what I mean? I need my counsel present before I hand you incriminating evidence, Mr. Officer. Where you're transmitting utility name in all uppercase. Yeah, 1,000%. Ens legis. And legis, whatever they call it. What up, man? What's going on with you? It must be the original warrant, not a copy. Article 3 judge signed off on, and yep, oath by a living party. Yeah, them warrants are most. I don't think they've ever served a solid warrant though. Like all the warrants probably bogus as hell. They all commercial. As I stated above about all those DC government entities being registered in Florida, they're all registered to Robert E. Cohen, PSD, ABPP, Psychologist Board, Psychologist Clinical, Neuropsychologist. Why? I didn't know that. Dang. All registered, huh? That's interesting. That's crazy. I wonder why that would be, though. That's interesting. Cover the VIN as well. I've had mixed experiences with covering the VIN. One time the VIN wasn't ran when I had it covered, and the other time they was making a big deal out of that shit. But if you put it under a trust, you know what I'm saying, they won't. It'll be the automobile will be underneath a trust or titled under a trust, so they can't find out the ens legis, information because they want that address. You saw how they was doing to Quan X when he got pulled over. And what's your address? Where do you live? Where do you live? I live in my body, sir. I live in my body. I am a spirit inhabiting this land via my body. That's where I live. I'm not the body. Yeah, they definitely like Vins though. That's facts. Answer your name. Separate yourself from legal fiction. Control it like your GTA character and play the game. That's another way you can move. Is a warrant supposed to have wedding signature? any of those signatures are definitely supposed to be wedding. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, copying machines and all that shit didn't even exist. If you trying to make it like it is no difference. No, that's a difference. They'll arrest you without a warrant. If there's one that resembles your name, then get a copy of one to serve you in the back of the unit car. Interesting. Put title under that. That's what I said. Put it under a trust. Yep. That's what I said. Put it under a trust. They did the same shit to me, and I caught them on cameras in federal court. Now, fire. Did they back down on the traffic charges? Do we own our physical bodies, or are our physical bodies like most things in this world? Now, anything natural is not doesn't belong to them. Anything natural doesn't belong to them. They try to lay claim to shit like that, but they can only lay claim to ends lead just illegal entities. I know when they saw it pop up, did they get rid of the traffic infractions or the case or whatever? Indeed, we're a spirit incarnate, heirs to the kingdom of heaven, co-creator of Christ. I agree with all that. The Most High is the ruler of the land. They're pretenders. Facts. All right, let's move on, shall we? All right, let's go on to some interesting news. And you know what I mean, amidst all the super cops that think they have capes on, let's get some real heroes out here. And let's listen to what these ladies are doing, okay? All right. Atlanta women known as the Boot Girls go viral for removing car boots for $50, claiming they're fighting against Predator City booting. Fire. It's not playing. Hold on. Let me hold on. Let me rewind this. Give me 1 second. Let me get it straight. Might have to refresh it. Had some audio with it. Hey, this was interesting though. When I saw this, I was like, "Yo, get out of here, man!" Not all heroes wear capes. Damn it! All right, let's play this and see what they got to say.
This is our property. But the Boot Girls are doing it
all day, every day.
all day. That's how often they say they're getting calls from drivers who have boots on their wheels in private lots in Atlanta, now that their videos on social media are starting to go viral.
And it is expanded out of nowhere.
The Boot Girls will swoop in and remove a boot from your car for a flat fee of $50. It's controversial because private parking lot companies own the boot and put it on there. The city of Atlanta allows them to charge you up to $75 a day every day the boot is on your car.
Predatory.
Christian Verrett is the one who started selling the keys that unlock Atlanta boots in the first place about a year ago.
It's holding someone hostage. You're holding somebody for ransom. $75 or you can't go anywhere. I'm not leaving my car in the middle of downtown.
Well, they'll say, but you shouldn't have parked illegally.
As opposed to, hey, a ticket, put your ticket, walk away. You can just drive off with your ticket. And there's a video right now of a DoorDasher who parked for 2 seconds just to go grab an order. I mean, the guy.
All right, so this is how you move. All right, my man started selling the keys, right, to take the boots off. Then they got the keys and they started selling a service. They started selling a service where they come through your situation and they'll take the boot off of your whip for $50, and the city's over there charging you $75. I ain't gonna lie to you. If they was charging me $75, the same price as it would cost to get the boot off, I would rather give the $75 to them. Just because you know what I mean? That's how you do it. I'm not salute to them, the Boot Girls, man. Salute to them, man. Because look, at the end of the day, all we got is us. You know, the nationals, bro. Like even people that don't even know they're nationals, they moving like nationals at that point because they for the people, man. You know, they for the people. The people is what keeps this country functioning, man. People is what keeps the corporation functioning. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, all we got is us. So I hope they make a great piece of change off of taking them boots off. And I hope the people putting boots on people's cars lose a lot of freaking money. You see what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. Somebody parked for 2 seconds, comes back to a guy picking up Uber Eats, goes to pick up an order. And a lot of them times, them Uber Eat guys, you know what I'm saying, that's a side hustle. They got main hustles they got to go to work and work for. You know what I mean? And if it isn't just a side hustle, that's a young kid. You know what I mean? That's his first job, driving for Uber Eats. He working at his own leisure. He working as much as he wants to. You know what I'm saying? He still got time to spend with his girlfriend and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Or to develop something else going on with his future. And y'all over there putting boots on that man's car. He was there for 2 seconds. That's ridiculous. But this is what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking out for one another. Looking out for your fellow man. That's great. I love it. Keep up the good work, people. Y'all make me proud with stuff like that, man. 100%. All right, where were we at? At Dun & Bradstreet, the White House Office Inc. profile CEO Joseph R. Biden. Oh, shit. Dun & Bradstreet. So they got a different Dunn's number now? Yo, but you know, I told y'all that shit collapsed because in 2020 that office was empty. That's why the shit's still boarded up. It's still fenced off. You can't even go in that joint. It used to be open. They still got military down there guarding that joint. That shit closed. Closed for business. Lords overruled the Green Brother Grindtime. Speaking of address on the USPS online panel, it says the I-94 proof of naturalization or citizenship. Department of State said no evidence in there. There you go. So that would make you a national, sir. And if any way you did contract, you know, and they tell you did, now's your chance to correct that shit. You know, same way you got in, the same way you got out. Consent. Boot girls, yes indeed. See, here's the thing. I got my claim to my. No, they didn't get rid of the case, but I put the clerk on notice, and they traded off on my private property. That they traded off my private property. Okay. I put my home in trust and just got a letter from the assessor note asking if I still wanted to be considered a resident since I don't have a homestead exemption anymore. I'm like, nope, non-resident for me. Word. So I did what any man would do. I reported them to the FTC and to the section about the trading on my property without my consent. Case is going to be paying out a lot more than what it was worth. Stopping me. Yep. Gotta hold their feet to the fire. But they've converted all the Dun & Bradstreet. Now they're using ULEI's unique legal entity identifiers via SAM and other websites. Damn. Game's changing, huh? Crazy. Citizen, resident, pass. They like that in the United States. The time the cop used my info and kept my property without just compensation. Oh no, we don't do that. You will have to pay, and I'm expensive. I mean, that's in the Constitution too. The government can't take your property without proper compensation. They cannot take your private property for public use. That's it. It's literally in the Constitution. They cannot take your private property for public use, which if they take your private plate in order to try to have you come to trial, that trial is public. That's public use. So you got the public state's attorney. You got the public magistrate or judge, not even magistrate, judge or whatever, actor judge. You know what I'm saying? Using this property, which is the state itself, public entity. I haven't been compensated. Where's my cheese? If the vehicle is on private property, they can do that. But anything public the tax dollars go to can be used as long as it doesn't interfere with public flow. I mean, yeah. They can, but still, that's predatory, man. That's still predatory. That's predatory. Nah, that's predatory, man. I ain't mad at that. Hey, you know, boot ladies, do your thing. I ain't mad at that. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on, shall we? And we're about ready to open these call lines up. All right, let's go ahead and do this then. Share this. Let's take a look at what they're doing over there in Japan. What's going on over there in Japan? What's going on? Gotta reboot this bad boy. Let me tell you why.
This house has zero value.
Noll, nada.
But it's still beautiful, right? I bought this house in central Tokyo last year and started renovating it on my own. The house was abandoned for 10 years and was built in 1936. This might be a cultural shock for a lot of people, but older Japanese houses have zero value. The value lays in the land, and the house itself depreciates, right?
Oh, look at the termites. They're eating my house.
All of my Japanese friends thought I was crazy for trying to save something that has zero value. I documented the entire journey on my Japanese-speaking YouTube channel, and maybe you saw the final result, the house tour from Caleb Simpson's video.
How much do you pay for rent in Japan?
I don't pay rent.
Japan has almost 10 million abandoned houses. Buying an abandoned house in Japan isn't actually that hard, but renovating one is. For example, trash disposal, incredibly expensive. Sourcing material too. I'll document this week by week on a new renovation series called
Tokyo Renovation Diaries. Please check it out and follow for more Japan content. Hey, I stumbled across this on Instagram. I thought that was very interesting. So you can literally go over to Japan and grab an abandoned. They got 10 million abandoned houses in Japan, and from what I comprehend about Japan, they're having trouble filling up having births, man. Like the births aren't actually staying up to date with the amount of people who are dying, because there's supposed to be a certain amount of people who pass and a certain amount of children who are born in order to replace those people who passed. But so they're saying that there's problems with women giving birth and people aren't meeting each other as much because they're too busy working. So there's an issue right now with fulfilling those deaths with births. So you got a lot of property that's being left out there in the wind. That's crazy. Oh, that is absurd. So like, if you doing bad over here, listen, if SHTF, man, you doing bad, you like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do, such and such, man, get yourself a damn, save up, stack your chips somehow, get yourself a plane ticket and go to Japan and get yourself some property. Let's start looking into going over there and getting yourself some property or something, man. But just don't think you down and out and you don't know what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Never think like that, man, because where there's a will, there's always a way. You know what I mean? I know somebody probably needed to hear that. It might not have been y'all, but somebody needed to hear that. Facts. What up, Steven? What's going on? Steven Scuba. QSIP numbers, when they get found out about trading off on your property, shows how each case was worth. Word. They are using your property for public use without just compensation. I mean, but all that QSIP numbers and Social Security, none of that shit is yours, man. That's all that shit they created. You didn't create none of that stuff. So by law, they can't even. They aren't even obligated to do that. You know what I mean? Even the all caps ins allegiance, that's not yours. They created that shit, so they can do it for it as they please. You know what I mean? So that's nah. They're not, unless they took your plate. That's a completely different ball game. They took your plate. You know what I'm saying? That's something you actually created. So nah, they can't do that. But as far as QSIP numbers and all that other stuff, man, they created all that shit is stuff they created, man. Time to fly to Japan to help with the population. My man said, hey, check it out, Slim. A lot of them women out there have been poked, man. So good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? I stand by my statement with that. A lot of the women out there have been poked. You don't know. We don't know what the effects of that poke. We don't know. We don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? It's only been 3 years. We still don't know the effects. So I would be careful with that, man. Don't just go there slinging your Jimmy all over the place. You got to be careful with that. We don't know the effects. At the G7 in Japan, damn it, Vault. You better have bought some of that CIA grade stuff. Hey, yo, you wild, man. Yeah. Listen, never mind. Listen. Japan is very advanced and all that stuff, but it is by large a conformist society. I've never been to Japan, all right, but the culture in Japan is very conformist. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been in the Japanese customs and culture for a while. I've never been there before though. But I'll say this: when I went to the Philippines is very much a conformist society to a degree. You know what I mean? The people who are in the cities and stuff like that, they're going to do what it is they need to do to keep making money. You know what I mean? America's different. Japan, nah, I don't see that being the case, man. Pure bloods only, baby. You know what I mean? You don't want all that other stuff, spike proteins. You know, be careful with that, man. That's all I'm saying. We don't know all the ramifications of them actions. You know, it could be a situation where you know, it might cause some stuff to happen to certain areas of people's body. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can use that. I gotta be careful with my words because they on my ass. But yeah, they created off my claim property if I got a claim to it. Good luck with that, man. I mean, good luck with that, man. You know what I'm saying? If you have a DBA check up trademark, you can if you do a trademark in that's a whole different ball game. If you're doing a trademark, yeah, that's a different ball game. Yeah. As a matter of fact, people keep saying, "Oh, you need to go do a trademark for the N Legis," and what'll happen is they aren't allowed to enter that name in their systems because the name's already trademarked. I've heard this, but it sounds too good to be true. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. It's a cleanser or detoxer for everything. It don't matter what man creates. Better know the universe and have some. The universe has some for it. Probably so. Probably so. I haven't heard any. I've heard pine needle tea. Some people were peddling pine needle tea, but I don't know how true that is. You know, like I said, it's still too early to know, man. It's too early to know. I'm sure there's some senzu bean type shit out there you can do because they got something for everything. You gotta put in work and chill, politely screen them and be like, moshi moshi. Hey, yo, knock it off, Mike. You crazy, bro. Word though. Listen to my man. He got some info for you. That stuff jumps from one to another through bodily fluids. That's what I'm concerned about. You know what I mean? The bodily fluids. Yo, remember there was a movie where I don't remember what this movie was called. This movie came out probably about like 8 years ago now. But it was a movie where it was like some kind of spiritual aspect. And once you smash somebody, they get it. So like there's something coming after you. And every day, you know what I'm saying? It starts off with just a noise, and then you start to see stuff in the distance, and then like days go by, you start to hear stuff outside your house. You know what I mean? It starts to chase you. So like you have to get with somebody, and once you smash with them or whatever, then it's off of you and it goes to them. You know what I mean? Fluid transfer type deal. There was a study done that said taking the jab takes 25 years. Woo! Sheesh. Man, that's sad, bro. That's sad, man. That's terrible, man. That is terrible. Ouch. There's a small Wyoming-based company named Taco John's, which claims to have a trademark on the term Taco Tuesday. The claim, like all so-called intellectual properties claim, is utterly ridiculous. Yeah, it's like it's a slippery slope, man. In theory, it should work, but a lot of shit should work in theory. Not a trademark, but common law copyright, and you get it notarized public, then you send it to your Secretary of State and get it apostille. Yes, I have done it, and it works, huh? Okay, hit my email, man. I want to holler at you about that. Common law copyright, get it notarized, huh? Okay. Taco John's was my hometown in Rochester, Minnesota. Word. What up, Mac? What's good, man? Word. Okay. All right. So with that said, folks, it's time to open up these lines, man, and have you guys come on in here and we can chop up game. The email, yo, it's right there at the bottom, bro. Right there at the bottom. It's right there. I got it scrolling at the bottom. All right, here we go. All right, there we go, folks. There's the link. Man, ain't nothing like some good crisp water. I'm telling you, nothing like some good crisp clean water. Yeah, it was crazy when I was out at the Philippines, dude. Yeah, I was missing that spring water, man. I had to drink that bottle shit, man. It was not the same at all. But interesting thing though. I actually saw a spring when I was out there, man. Headed down to the there was a village, um, Tagitai, and there's a volcano, a village right near a volcano, but there's a lake in between the village and the volcano. There's a giant lake. But yo, there was a spring. That bad boy was running right out the mountain. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. That shit was right there. I'm like, yo, that's fire. That is fire. I ain't get a chance to stop and get some, but dude, it was definitely coming out of there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have it recorded in the miscellaneous in the recorder's office. That's what's up. Jared Theros, entirely coincidental. I worked at IBM in Rochester, Minnesota, home of the newlywed and the nearly dead for 6 months back in 1992. Okay. Also talking about Taco Tuesday joint. I mean, but what claim do they say that they have a claim on it? But like, how did they do that? How did they do that? Which method did they use to do that? Ah, boy. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. I know I skipped past a bunch of them. I think we all caught up. We are all caught up. But yeah, man. So yeah, as far as the whole what up, Rainwater, what's going on? As far as the whole situation goes with the common law copyright, you know what I'm saying? I've heard so many mixed reviews about that, man. I've heard some people say you can't copyright a name. Then I've heard some people say you don't copyright the name, you copyright the phrase. And some people say, yo, trademarking is better, just trademark. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of information out there. Not all of it is correct. So I can't give you an answer on that particularly, not on that particular topic. Too many different theories out there. I've yet to try any of those. All right, so check this out. I wanted to share this with you guys also. I stumbled across this just screwing around on the USPS website. So listen, if y'all are looking for certain forms, y'all got a whole category or what is it? A whole category search of forms you can find. So it's got about like I think like 10, it was 11. It's got 8 pages. 8 pages of different forms. There's something on here. Hold on. There's something on here that said caps. What was that about? I know I saw something on here that said something about caps. I got to go back through it again. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna be combing through this thing. I'm gonna look through all of these forms and see which ones will come in handy. But this website, I'm gonna put the website right there in the comments in case you guys want to search it by yourself. I'm telling you, the post office has a lot of useful stuff that you can use to your benefit when dealing with these corporations. Not just general delivery. All right, let me see. Would love to see you on Rumble so we can talk about the shit we can't talk about. Hey, you're right. I have a Rumble. I just never really took time to set it up. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. This year so far has been a lot. It's been a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? I had the trip. You know, I had the whole shit I'm doing with the stop that happened in February. I got shit I'm working on with that. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, so like I haven't really been able to lock down on the Rumble. I just been able to set it up. But yeah, as soon as I get all this stuff cleared, man, I'm gonna be on Rumble definitely. Wolf keep telling me, yo, I got a way you can upload all your videos. I'm like, I got you, man. I'm definitely gonna get around to it. I'm slow with that shit. Floyd will tell you, he be like, yo, A6 is real slow with the way I move slow with certain things, man. Loyalty over rules. What's up? Greetings, brother. Grind time. It is utmost important to do the I-95 94 citizen free FOIA request search to get your proof that you're not a citizen. Citizens are liable to be are the liability to the non-citizen. I-94 form. Let's take a look at what he's talking about. This is the second time he mentioned that. A Department of Homeland Security form. Okay. Let's take a look at this. trying to get into it to see the form. I didn't make me go through a bunch of red tape to get this damn thing. Hold on, let me see if I can get a picture of it. All right, here we go. I got something. I don't think this is the actual form, but this is there's information about it. Hold on, let me see if I can show you guys. That's not the right one. Here we go. I think this is it right here. All right, so I think this is what he's talking about right here. Form wait a minute, what the fuck is this? Oh, wait a minute. International Student and Scholar Services form. Okay, this ties in. Yeah, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The I-9. This is something I googled. The I-94 arrival departure record confirms you have been admitted to the U.S. Is now an electronic document and is no longer issued in paper form except in special circumstances. You can download, save, and print a copy of your I-94 on the CBP website. Whenever you enter the U.S., you should save a copy of your I-94 for your records and verify that all information is accurate. If there are errors, let us know so we can help get them corrected. So U.S. Customs and Border Protection, most recent I-94. So this is somebody else's, it looks like, or maybe this is just a model. But yeah, country of issuance details in the I-94. Yeah, this is what I see here. If this is not, if I'm not looking at the right thing, let me know. But that's what I found. When somebody uses it and you look up the date, no one else has a claim to it but you, and you do the UCC one, absolutely. No claim. You can only copyright your name, which was copyrighted when you were born, just not noted and enforced by your mother and father. That's a lawsuit when someone else uses your shit. They claim to be the first one to use the phrase Taco Tuesday. I mean, yeah, maybe. I will entertain any argument, but at the end of the day, I will always reject the notion that a certain configuration of words, bits, bytes, or waves can be owned. In the FOIA request, it will give you the option to choose the I-94 and the birth certificate. I will email you mine after the show. Okay, cool. Do that. Thank you. Information like man wants to be free. Supplanter, I bet you don't have a claim on your stuff, do you? It's always in the unbelievers that didn't even put in the work but talk all day. That's what separates the truth from the talk. I mean, true to a degree, but he might have had a different experience with it than you did. Another thing, too, man, a lot of these states that you guys are in, they might not operate like a different state. So one state might honor something where another state doesn't, even though they should. You see what I'm saying? Case in point. So maybe there's not the situation where he's just running his mouth. Maybe his state don't look at it the same way. Even though, like I said, they might supposed to do that. Only citizens have one. A supplanter. Everything that is created by man is ownable. All names and phrases are made up by man and therefore can be owned. Owning others' bodies is still legal in the U.S. It's called prison. Fair point. Can't argue with that. The process with the I-94, you got to go through Department of Homeland Security. Right. That's what I was saying, Tim. They said there's only a digital form, but you can still get a paper form in special circumstances. Yes, online portal is free. All right. Cool. Good looking out on that bit of information. Man. All right. I think we covered everything I wanted to cover today, man. I think we're good. We all caught up. All right, so look, this week I'm gonna be definitely doing the shorts. I'm definitely gonna stay in touch with you guys, trying to get some of this stuff done and out of the way, move some things around accordingly. We will definitely be live, well, God willing, live next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This has been a pretty good show. You guys are in here dropping some heat, good information. Send me that information to my email so I can check it when I get off, because I'm gonna be looking into that. Very interesting stuff. 1,000%. Please hit that like button on the way out before you guys leave. It helps the algorithm. Whole lot. Oh man, okay, cool. Hold up. Oh nah, that's not even. I was trying to reach out to the dude New Life Tools. I thought that was him responding, but nah, it's a goddamn fake profile. Trying to get in touch with New Life Tools, trying to get my man on here to drop some knowledge about crystals and spirituality and stuff. But he was hard dude to track down. You know what I'm saying? All right, the email's on the bottom. Maybe it's too small for you guys to see. I might have to see if I can figure out how to make that bigger. Because if it's too small for y'all to see, I need to enlarge that. But it's been scrolling at the bottom the whole entire time, I believe. I'm going to put it here anyway. There you go. That's my email right there in the chat. Go ahead and take a look at that. So you can reach out, drop that info. Let me have that so I can peruse through it and see what's up with it. Thank you. All right, so with that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. It's been a great show. I love talking to you guys. We will be live in direct, live in effect next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, man, you already know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. It's A6, the Foreign National Born Natural, the original, and we're still dropping bars out here, all right? So lead the world in a better place than you found it. And remember, the path to freedom is our bravery. Never forget that. All right, so with that said, please go ahead, again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, please. Feel free to donate, as my man Wolf said. Hit that Cash App. We greatly appreciate that. And I will see y'all in the next go round. Peace.